Andrew has not. Coach, we'll wait a few minutes here. You'll be the home team tomorrow.
Yeah, they already told me. Thanks.
We'll get you some more water.
Chuck, can you see if Brandy's got those two guys close?
Joined now by TCU. Before we begin, TCU has been the designated home team for Thursday's game against Ole Miss. Head coach Jim Schlossnagel. He's joined by Kyle Bocek and Brandon Finnegan. Coach, if you'd begin with an opening statement, please.
Obviously, great ball game. Some very impressive pitching on the part of both teams, and congratulations to Virginia. Proud of our team for the way we competed. We've been through these before, and so we're planning on just making this game part of our story here for the next week or so.
Open the floor to questions. Please introduce yourself and affiliation. Kendall, we begin with you.
Kendall Rogers, perfect game. Jim, just there late in the game, just talk about the kind of the bout between Nick Howard and Riley Farrell. I mean, that was pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, it was, it's premium arms. It's hard to get upset at your offense when you're facing that kind of pitching, and especially I got to be careful here before I say some things about this ballpark that I'll regret, but it's just a travesty what we've done to college baseball. But it's really very impressive by Howard, very impressive by Farrell, very impressive by Teakle, very impressive by Lewicki. I thought Brandon, once he caught his rhythm, was really good, and I thought their starter, we missed some opportunities early. We had some poor fundamentals early in the game. on defense. That cost us a run. But, yeah, I mean, the pitching was smothering. And then you add in the park and the conditions, and it's not a good recipe for scoring.
Here in the front row.
Brandon Speck, Fox Sports. Coach, how does the pitching, you went through some arms tonight, a lot of pitches in a long game, obviously. How does it affect you guys as far as going forward playing Ole Miss?
Obviously, Farrell, Tickle more than, not available, but I feel comfortable, as long as we can have somebody go out there the way Preston and Brandon did, pitch deep into the game, whether it be Kipper or Alexander, whoever, not sure who we're going to pitch, but if those guys can go out there and give us a great game, and then get us to the next day and have those guys have 2 days rest, then they'll be ready to go by the time we get to Friday. But I'd venture to say you won't see the last two pitchers that pitch for us.
Kendall.
Yeah, this for Kyle. I guess when you look at, for instance, Kevin, some of the balls he hit tonight. I mean, when those balls just kind of died out there, as hitters, does that kind of keep your confidence level down quite a bit when you see guys hit the ball like that and it just dies?
Yeah, it does to an extent. I mean, but what we kind of base our offensive off is quality at bats, and I mean hard contact's quality at bat. So for us, it's a win. And Kevin he squared some balls up that in most places are extra base hits or maybe even home runs or something like that. But I think, yeah, we hit a lot of balls hard, but as an offense, you can't dwell on it. You gotta just keep pushing on.
Here in the front row.
Chris Schneider, CBS Radio, Dallas. Are games like this harder to bounce back from when you lose tough extra inning games?
I think if we had to play tomorrow, it's certainly tougher. I mean, we've been a part of, 3 this year? A 15, an 11, a 22, and whatever today was. So, and we're 3-1 in those ball games. So we'll find out. We bounce back from the wins pretty well. But having the day off certainly helps. But I'm confident. I mean, we're a resilient bunch, and we just so happen to lose a close one today. We'll be back ready to play Thursday night.
Third row in the middle.
Stephen Stevenson, Fort Worth Star Telegram. Jim, what was your thinking on the pinch hit, Fox for Suter?
The guy that they had in there, what's his name, Mayberry? We were getting really good swings on him. So when Jarek was up, we weren't going to bunt because we were just getting good swings, and it's so hard to even score from second base on a single. So we were just hoping for another base hit, maybe get to third base. But when they brought in Lewicki, just took a shot. Fox has gotten 2 really big bunts down for us this year, and we kind of put him in a hole having to bunt with 1 strike and then bunt against a power pitcher like that, and it didn't work out. But I'd do it again.
In the front, Aaron.
Aaron Fitt, Baseball America coach. You kind of made it clear about your frustration with the overall lack of offense, but when you're watching a game like this where you've got 2 staffs with elite arms battling, maybe in the past and even today, I hope you would enjoy a battle like that. But at what point does it just become frustrating? Do you throw your hands up because it's impossible to get anything going?
It's just a matter of, it was going to come down to who got the big hit or, the ball landed in the right spot. Boomer's short. Their center fielder's tall. What's his name? Odell smoked that ball in his last at bat. And, they did a good job of getting the bunt down and get the guy at third base. We didn't get 2 bunts down in the game. And then the shortstop stayed on a breaking ball there to end the game. But, yeah, you start – I'm looking down the bench at our coaches, and how's either team going to score until at least somebody comes out of that bullpen and gets tired enough just to leave 1 pitch up. And, that was Irving did a great job of working the count to 3-2, and we had to give in to him with the wind blowing in, and he hit it hard enough, kept it low enough to get over Boomer's head.
In the middle in the fourth row.
Shotgun Spratling, College Baseball Daily. Coach, do you feel like you missed out on some opportunities early in the game? Did you have Waddell on the ropes and just didn't take advantage of it? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it's been so long ago. We didn't do a good job when in the first inning. We decided we weren't going to bunt. We were with a runner at second base, nobody out. We were going to give Derek a chance to swing, and he swung in a bad pitch. Didn't get the runner to third base. didn't score in that inning. And the first inning in our first game in the World Series, we bunted and scored the run. Got the guy in. And then we threw the ball away. We weren't in good backup position to keep the guy from scoring, so that cost us a run. But it's hard to get mad at your team over stuff like that in a 15-inning game. I mean, Finney, I didn't think he was very good early, and I think he would admit that to you. And then he caught his rhythm and was as good as he's been all season against a really good team. So we competed like crazy, so did they, and didn't go our way.
We got time for 2 more questions. First here in the middle.
Stephen Stevenson, Fort Worth Star Telegram. Coach, you talked a couple days ago about a couple guys in your lineup slumping in this, and you didn't want to change anything because of the consistency factor. Would you consider change because some of those slumps continued tonight?
Yeah, I mean, sure, we'll talk about it. But I don't know, would they take Big Papi out in the elimination game in the World Series? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, sometimes guys do well at the bottom of the order because that's where they're comfortable hitting, and that's kind of where it fits. But I mean, Boomer got a big hit yesterday. Derek's last at bat is his first at bat of his. He's great at bat, and he'll be ready to go Thursday. But we'll talk about it, but probably not.
Final question here in the front row.
Bruce Schneider, CBS Radio, Dallas. Ole Miss is next. What do you know about them?
They have a really good, obviously a really good team. Big win today for them. Mike and I are really, really close. Spent all summer together, Team USA. So I was excited he won, but I'm never excited to play real close friends like that. But I know they have a great club, very, very competitive. A lot of balance on their team and good pitching like everybody else. So I haven't thought that much forward yet, but we'll be ready to go.
Thank you to Coach Schlossnagel and TCU student athletes. If you have individual interviews, please contact Brandy Davidson. Those interviews will be held outside of this room. Virginia will join us shortly. Representing Virginia, head coach Brian O'Connor, Brandon Cogswell, Nick Howard, and Danielle Pinheiro. A couple of housekeeping items. 15-inning game ties the longest game in College World Series history. And Coach, would you have an opening statement for us?
Wow, that was a heck of a baseball game. I mean, both teams really fought and battled. Just really proud of our guys. Waddell gives up the 2 runs in the second inning, and then continues to fight and make some good adjustments and gives us 7 strong innings. And everybody we brought out of the pen did a nice job. And there was kind of a little bit, I think, of a lull in the game there from about the 9th through until the 15th. But it's just, I don't know. You got to string hits together. You got to find a break, in this World Series these days. And it's just they're just tough to win. And I'm just really proud of our guys that, we found a way. We threw everything we had at them. Howard and Mayberry and Lewicki. I felt that this game, the 1-0 game, to go 2-0 is really, really important. And it gives you an extra day's rest. You don't have to play again until Friday, and obviously you got the upper hand. So, but I know the 2 teams still in our bracket, they're not going to go away. But just really proud of our club. They've grinded all year, and today was another great example of that.
Open the floor for questions. First in the front row, Aaron Fitt.
Aaron Fitt, Baseball America. Nick, when you're in one of those duels like that with Farrell, 2 of the best arms in the country in the middle of the game going extra innings, how much do you enjoy that? And how much would you kind of have the adrenaline going a little bit at that point?
Definitely. I mean, extra inning game. My goal was just to go out there, attack the first guy. I knew if I did that, that their chances of scoring will definitely go down. So I was definitely focused on that first guy. But I mean, that was a lot of adrenaline run. I think everybody was running off adrenaline by the end of the game.
In the front row here in the middle.
Andrew Anspacker, Charlottesville Daily Progress. Danny or Danielle. Take us through that last at bat. Obviously, it was kind of an up and down day for you early on. There's the errors, but to come back, kind of what was your approach there, and kind of just take us through it.
I mean, Coach Mack, put the bunt sign down, and I missed twice, 2 curveballs, and then I just went into a 2-strike approach kind of, and he threw me another curveball, and I just stayed back on it and just put it in the air and got the job done.
Doug Dowdy from the Roanoke Times for Nick again. What were your conversations with the coaches after inning 1, after inning 2, after inning 3? I assume you wanted to stay in there, but what did you think your limit was?
At that point, I'm not thinking about my limit. As long as my number keeps going called, I was going to go out there and throw strikes and do the job. But there wasn't very much conversation going on between innings.
In the front.
Aaron Fitt again. For the players, Brandon, Daniel, when you see Irving, hit a ball over a guy's head, don't see a whole lot of that in this ballpark or in this game. How much did that electrify the dugout? I mean, did that really kind of get the guys going there?
Brandon, can you open?
Yeah, I think that was our break. We've been battling for the 6 innings after the 9th inning, and for Irving to get a ball over the left fielder's head, we knew we had to take advantage of that. So kind of all our approaches kind of changed at that split second, and we knew we had to execute and get the job done for the team.
All right, we'll take 3 more questions, starting here in the front. We're going to keep it short today.
Brian, kind of to piggyback off that, you were 0 for 15 in extra innings until Nate leads off that 15th with that hit. Of all people to have the longest hit in this ballpark today, it was Nate Irving. What does that say about him? Obviously, he's had an interesting NCAA tournament, sat out a couple games. Now he's back, and obviously he's been huge for your pitching staff all year. Obviously, what did that do for you guys?
Well, it gave us a chance to win the game, but we just needed somebody to step up at that point. When you're in an extra inning game, you're facing the pitching like we're facing. It was great to see Nate, clutch up. He's gotten so many big hits in his 3 years here, and for him to, drive a ball over the left fielder's head, I didn't know if anybody was going to be able to do that on either ball club tonight. But, fortunately he got it up enough, and he must have squared it up really, really good to hit it out there.
In the second row.
Mark Giannotto from the Washington Post. This is either for Brian or the players. Was there moments where it was kind of surreal, just going through? I mean, inning after inning, they played Take Me Out to the Ball Game a second time. I mean, what was going through your heads as you're going through this game that's almost was the longest in College World Series history?
Well, I can say that I was hoping the next time they played Take Me to Bed. I can't speak for these guys, but they were into it, and they were, like I said, just trying to find a way. You look at the pitching on both sides that was being thrown out there. There's some pretty special arms. The guys can really pitch, and it was just a matter of somebody finding a break. But a 5-hour game is quite a long one. So,
Daniel, do you have anything for the players?
What was it like going through that? Was there a moment for you where you sort of were like, I can't believe I'm in a game like this?
I mean, yeah, running back and out there every inning, kind of got a little tiring, but I just kept with it, and the whole team did too. Our pitching staff did an incredible job. our team is just, we grind, and that's what we did today.
Final question here in the front.
Brian, I believe you made the switch to Lewicki on a 1-1 count. What went into that?
I'll tell you what went into it. Leadoff guy got on, and I didn't think that they would bunt Suter. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And Witt was getting some pitches up in the zone. He had done a nice job, but he was leading some sliders up in the zone. And quite frankly, I thought maybe they would hit and run. So I wanted to get a fresh arm in there to hopefully give us the best chance. And I just didn't want to let it go any further. So.
How many times a year do you change in the middle of a count like that?
Very rarely, but it was just kind of a gut thing, Doug, that I just didn't feel like they bunt. It seems like everybody, with no outs or runner at first bunts in this ballpark, but I just felt like they weren't going to bunt, and I wanted to make a switch because, one move, one decision, one move in a game like this can be the difference whether you win or lose the ball game.
That concludes the press conference. Thank you, Coach O'Connor and the Virginia student athletes. For individual interviews, please speak with Andy Flenderjohn of Virginia.